What's happening, everybody? This is Big Temp with the Cave Cast. I have Big Mike on the other end. He is only microphone enabled today. He said his background is under construction. He's been
Yeah, man,
having
y'all be alright.
he's been
I
having
get to
some
hear this. Y'all get to hear this
don't
greatness, man.
this
You know what I'm
greatness.
saying?
Here we go again. Between you and Dorian, there's a lot of greatness going on. Anyway,
It's only one. It's only one goat. You know.
oh God. Well, here's the deal. We got some news coming back, now that's been a week or so from the the debacle of what was, you know, a dream to be the first team to ever three-peat Super Bowl era. Didn't happen. So now we're on the journey to try to rebuild this team for the Kansas City Chiefs. And as of today, we've gotten news out of Kansas City where the Kansas City Chiefs will not be using the franchise tag or the transition tag at all this season. That is coming straight out of Kansas City. I want. I don't know if Mike you had heard this, but I'm letting you know as of now, the Chiefs have no plans to use the transition tag or the franchise tag, no matter what, this offseason. So it could be
Didn't I say that
possibly.
earlier?
Well, it wasn't something that was solid. It just you know pretty much came out here within the last 2 hours. Uh, the problem is we do understand that that means that they plan on either signing Bolton or they plan on letting Trey and Bolton both go. I don't understand that, but that is a possibility now, for sure. If they don't plan the franchise tag or transition either one of them.
I mean, here's the thing. I get why they wouldn't because, like we've talked about,
Yeah,
guard is not something that's very hard to find, even in the draft. Um,
it's not, but
it's really not.
I will
Like,
say I will say this though. Landon Dickerson is probably one of the best guards in the league. And if you look at what he was able to do when they needed him to, his value, just like with Joe Tooney for the Chiefs when he moved from guard to left tackle, it's hard to find those kind of guys that can do a number of things and do them well on the line. Now, I can't say that for Trey because I've never seen him do anything else besides play guard, right? But you are correct. It is easier to find a guard than it is a tackle. And I think that's probably why you're going to see them not try to franchise tag or transition tag either Nick Bolton or him or Trey because they understand that they have pieces that are there that if they need to, they could actually use at the guard position. And I actually think Sumataia is probably the next man up for that guard position.
yeah.
So,
Hey, I got a question. When you
yeah.
say, because we know the offensive line for Philly is like they're bigger, right?
Oh, yeah, they're huge.
Um, so like when you say big, like what would you consider big? Like for offensive line, like across the board.
Okay. We know that Philly, from what I understand, had the biggest offensive line in NFL history all the way across the board. Okay. And they were anywhere between I think 6'6" and 340 pounds, close to that, right? Those are some big jokers. Now that didn't mean every one of them was 6, but that was the average, 6'6", 340 pounds. To me, big is if you had a guy that's around that size, 6'6", 325 to 340 pounds, right? If you remember Kennard, the guy that we drafted a couple years back, he was a big joker, a really big guy. But big doesn't always necessarily mean good, right? But it does help, especially as time goes on, for defensive linemen. They get tired of going against those guys when they're that big, you know, especially during a game and you're steadily pounding that ball. So, but yeah, to me, I'd say anywhere between 6'5" to 6'8", 330 plus pounds. I think that's a big guy. Now,
Okay.
why do you ask that?
No, I was just curious because like I was looking at, let's say the Chiefs stay in house in terms of the guard, at least for Trey's position, because
Yeah,
obviously he's not going nowhere.
yeah.
At least we don't think so. Um, so Hunter Norzad, he
He's
doesn't
not.
have the height. He
No, he's
doesn't
not a
have the
big.
height,
He's not a big
but
guy. Not.
yeah, he's not tall, like 320 something pounds. Um, who else is on here? Kingsley. Now he kind of fits that mold.
Kingsley's not small.
He's 6'4", 326 pounds.
Yeah, he's not small.
Um, Jawan Taylor's not small either. I
No.
think Tooney's kind of like in between.
Yeah.
Where is he at? I don't even see him on here.
Another guy that they are hiding on that team, Ethan Driscoll,
Oh yeah, yeah,
i-
yeah. Him too.
is
He's
a
huge.
he's a huge
He
guy.
doesn't have the height or the weight, tall as
Yeah,
hell, and he's still over 300 pounds. So
yeah.
I think he's
He's
like
like
6'8", three hundred
yeah,
and fifteen or something like that.
yeah. I think he's heavier than that. I think he's 6'8", probably closer to 325. He's a monster. He is
It
an absolute
says
monster.
where is he at? Because I thought
I
I
know
just
it.
saw him.
I know it says 315 because I looked it up probably about a week ago. But he is a monster, and
Oh yeah,
I can
he's
tell.
huge.
I swear he's every bit of 320, 325 pounds. 315, yeah, I know. It
I
says
mean,
that.
when you're, I guess when you're 6'8", though, it kind of make the weight kind of because you're
It's
taller, obviously,
yeah, yeah.
so it's
It
not gonna
does.
look as you know.
Yeah, but it looks big on him though. It looks huge on that guy.
No,
That
he's huge.
that dude is a monster. He is a
I'm
monster.
trying to
So
find damn Toonie on here, but I don't even see him on here.
I want to say you can always look up his vitals. I think Tooney's about 6'3", 6'4", if I remember right. I could be wrong. He might be 6'5", but I don't think he's taller than 6'5". Uh, and probably about
I know Creed is like 6'4".
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so
I know what you're
it's hard.
asking.
It's hard to say because like I would love to see Driscoll. But do you
Oh,
really
I
want to
would.
bank on that? Would you really want to bank on that though?
Here's my thing. The only way you're gonna find out if this dude can make it in this league is if he's getting real live snaps.
Oh, I agree. But here's the thing, Dad. So what happens if it? Uh,
Well, what happens if it what?
no, like if they was to use Driscoll as a guard,
Okay.
what happen? Like what happens if he doesn't pan out like we
I would
think he could?
I would say I'd be more willing to put him in as a guard than a tackle. I think he's
Oh yeah,
better.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because
I
I don't think he'd be good as a tackle.
I think I think he'd be
I
better
think he'd be
equipped.
way better as a guard. I
I think he'd
agree.
be yeah, I think he'd be better as a guard because you need that monster inside. And in all honesty, you need a mean guy inside and a big guy. And I think it actually helps as far as the run game goes. You know, especially that kind of size to open up holes. Now, here's the deal: would you be more willing to put Sumataia back at left tackle? You know, that's the thing you have to ask yourself. If you're not going to put Sumataia at guard, which I think he could probably play a very good guard, you know, are you willing to put him at tackle? And if so, which tackle position? Now I know they're not going to move Jawan this year. They're gonna keep him. because they can't afford to eat that contract, right? So to me, I think you have to wind up using Sumataia at left tackle, which I think that's probably what's going to happen. Now, I'm not saying Driscoll's going to necessarily get a chance to play or get a chance to, you know, prove himself as a left guard or a right guard or whatever, but you do have him, available. And the other thing about that is that you seen what happened this year when they couldn't figure out what to do at left tackle, so they moved Tooney to left tackle. Well, and then that means Caliendo had to come in off the bench to play left guard. And Caliendo has the chops behind him, but he doesn't have. It's harder for me to believe in Caliendo at that position, just for the simple fact that he did have a hard time as the season progressed, taking in the account of what happened. But I really think that you got to give Driscoll a chance. Why are you hiding this guy and not giving him any snaps? He's been in the league for what? This is second year now. You got to give him a chance. You got Hunter Norzad there. You're not even trying with him. You're not doing anything with him. So what are we doing? We're just keeping him on practice squads until they hit, maturity.
Driscoll was a rookie this year.
Was he a rookie? I thought he was his second
Yeah, I
year.
just looked at it. No, he
Okay,
was a
cool.
rookie this year.
Okay, my bad.
Driscoll now, I think, or not Driscoll, Norzad, I actually think they drafted him for the future. Like,
Uh,
I think they drafted him now, not so much of that other dude, because they did get another guard, or he was a center, I think. I can't
oh
think of his
yeah,
name
yeah.
right now.
Uh,
Um, but I think Norzad was solid though. Like, I watched some film of him.
yeah.
He wasn't bad. And it says Joe too is 6'5", 304.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't think he was over
Yeah.
6'5". I really did. Uh, no, you're right as far as that goes. I think that you got to give Driscoll a chance, right? Uh, that's just me. The They did draft a center, Hunter Norzad, so that's what he was when he came out
Yeah,
in the
what was the
draft.
other dude's name?
The
There
other
was
guy
another
was
dude.
he was a guard, C.J. Hansen.
Oh,
Uh,
that's who it was.
he's the guy that came out of oh God, Holy Cross. That's right. I remember I had wrote all this stuff down. So he came out of Holy Cross. Uh, yeah. So they have. I'm guessing C.J. Hansen is still there. I don't know. He
I don't
might be
even
on the practice
know.
squad, huh?
He might be on the practice squad.
And he was drafted and he was a guard. He was a guard coming out of college. Uh, he was a 3-year starter too at Holy Cross. He does lack
Mm.
size. He lacks size and strength though, and that's probably why he hasn't gotten a chance. So he could be a good role player, but he won't be a starter, I don't think. Norzad played center and tackle. He was a 2-year starter. He's 6'3", 319 pounds.
Yeah, I seen that.
So like I said, that's the thing about having these guys available. Yeah, they're there in a pinch, and you have Driscoll and you have Sumataia. So I'm just saying, I get why they're not really concerned about letting go of Trey Smith, because they have another guy maybe possibly can come in and fill that position. The problem is you're going to wind up you're going to have to fix the left tackle position.
Yeah, I agree.
More than
I think it
anything else.
depends. Yeah, I think it depends on who's falling, like who's there in the draft. Because there are some guys I think
Yeah,
can come in the draft that I think you can still get. Like that dude, Ariante Ursery, I think that's how you say his
Ursery,
name.
yeah, from Minnesota.
He's not bad. That's a realistic pick the Chiefs could get.
Yeah,
Even the cat from Alabama, um, last name Booker. I can't think of his first name.
okay.
Um, he's not bad. Cameron Williams from Texas, the other tackle that they had,
Yeah,
not Banks, obviously, because Banks is.
no,
He was like the best one.
yeah.
Um,
He'll go early.
Yeah, cat from Oregon. You got the dude from West Virginia. You got um, what was it? There was another dude from Missouri that's pretty damn good too.
Are there? But see, here's the thing: out of all those guys you're mentioning, though, do you see any one of them as a day one starter as a rookie? Are they
Potentially, yeah.
are they a Joe Alt kind of guy?
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's gonna
I'm
be
just
hard to get
asking.
it.
I'm
Well,
just
here's the
asking.
thing. It's gonna be hard to get a Joe Alt tackle in this draft at that pick,
You're right, but
unless
here's
you
unless you trade up.
like he's even if you trade up, I don't think there's a Joe Alt in this draft class. Maybe outside of
Mm,
Banks, but Banks is not as big as Alt. Way
yeah,
smaller than Alt
yeah,
is.
and that's why I'm saying. So, do you try to, if you understand that you're not going to get that kind of a guy where you're drafting at? Because I really, to be honest with you, it doesn't happen very often. I don't think the Chiefs are going to try to trade up this year to get a higher draft
I
pick.
don't think they have enough. They don't
They
have
don't
enough
have
to do it.
they don't have enough draft capital, right? And so the only way I think they could do it is if they were to do a sign and trade with Trey Smith, and that's just not going to happen. Like I said, this has been taken off the books, by the way, because they just said that they're not going to use a franchise tag on anybody. So I don't think that's gonna. It's not gonna be something that we can look forward to. So you have to say, okay, we're gonna let Trey go, and let him test the markets as a free agent, and let him see what he can find out there, and then we get a compensatory pick some years down the line. I mean, nobody knows for sure what the Chiefs are going to do. I mean, hell, they might surprise all of us and go ahead and sign him. We don't know. But I don't think that's going to happen just from the fact of how the Chiefs have actually been in the past. So it's kind of nerve wracking, and it's also very exciting because you understand that in order for this team to be very good, I mean, it has to do the things that are going to be uncomfortable, right?
Hey,
So it's going to have to start. They're going to have to start looking at guys in the draft and maybe hoping that somebody falls,
hey,
right?
I will say, you know who I do like? Like that cat
For
from LSU, the tackle
oh
from LSU, the white boy. What is his
yeah,
name?
I'd have to look it up because I didn't really.
Will Campbell. Will Campbell.
Okay,
That's his
yeah,
name.
Campbell.
That dude. Hey, if they could get him
Yeah, but think
projected as a
about
first rounder,
he's a first round pick. Now, here's the deal. Where is he going to go in that first round though? Is he going to
I don't know.
fall? You know, does anybody need a left tackle at early rounds?
But I think
The
there's a lot of good tackles though. Like I don't think like this draft like a lot of like there's at least 10 tackles that I think could be starters.
okay, so that's what I'm saying is he's going to fall in the draft because you think about it. The Giants are drafting early. They've got a good tackle in Andrew Thomas, right?
Right.
So they're not going to pick up another left tackle. So that's at least one team I know of that's not going to pick one up. You know, they're going to be looking
And
for.
the reason why I don't think a whole bunch of linemen I mean they probably will, but like the defensive line in this draft is nasty. And there's a lot of
Yeah,
them.
it's a lot of them.
Um the DBs aren't bad this year. There's a lot of good safeties in this draft. A lot of good running backs, obviously.
Yeah,
I think the quarterback position is a little slept on, just a little bit. I don't think it's
mm,
great. I don't
it's
think it's
not
great,
great. It's not
but I don't
great.
think it's horrible. I don't think it's horrible either, though.
Who? Hey, okay. Just hey, while we're on the subject of QB, and this is off topic, we're gonna go straight off of this. Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders? Who you taking first?
That's a. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Cam
uh,
Ward.
you know what?
That's
I'm
just
gonna be
me,
I'm gonna be
and it's
honest with
not
you.
by much. It's not by much,
I
but I
think
think Cam
Cam
Ward.
I think Cam Ward is very very good. But you know what? Here's something I will say. Shador Sanders, there's something intriguing about this kid.
He's not
something.
bad. Like if somebody picked
It's
Sanders, I wouldn't be like, oh, it was a
it's something very intriguing about Shador Sanders because I know the pedigree he's from. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah,
And
exactly.
if you know the pedigree that somebody's from, and he's worked at it, he's played it on the big level, on the big stage, all lights. I mean, it was a sight show out there in Colorado. He always had, it was packed house all the time. So I know he's used to playing.
And he's got some aura too, just a little bit.
Yes. So,
He definitely
so
does.
that's why I said there's something very intriguing about this Shador Sanders kid, and I like, I like him. I like his little swag that he's got too. A little bit of cockiness. It's nothing wrong with that. But I know his dad, and like I said, the pedigree he comes from makes me think to myself, man, there's something this kid's got. I can't, I can't put my finger on it, but it's something there, and I can just tell you, I got a funny feeling about this kid.
I think
So
he'll be good. And like I said, I don't think it's like a huge drop off between the two. I think they're
no,
both. They could either or could go.
I will
You
say
know,
this: I don't think either one of them need to start first year, though. I really don't. I don't think neither one of them need to start the first year. I think they need some time to sit back and
I know.
evaluate what's going on. And if these coaches are smart, that's what they'll do. But we know
Okay,
these
so
coaches.
let me ask
We
you
know the
something
coaches
though. Like
won't.
if one of them go to the Raiders, who they sitting behind?
I mean, you're gonna have to sit behind whoever's already there.
Man,
I
I don't
know.
think they're doing that.
I know
I
they're
don't
not
think.
going to. I know they're not
I
going to.
don't think.
But I'll put it like this: Shador Sanders. If it's me, I'm not letting this kid play the first year unless I absolutely have to. Right? Now, same thing with Cam Ward, but I got a funny feeling that's what's going to happen. They're going to fucking try to put him in early, and it's going to ruin him. I've seen it happen a lot of times to guys that get put in their first
I
years.
really just think it depends on the franchise they go to.
It
Like
does.
if the franchise has a good foundation, like even if they're not really great, like
Yeah.
good, like a good team, they got a good foundation. They got a plan. They got a quarterback that has a plan, or a quarterback, or a coach that has a plan.
Yeah.
Like I said, it really just depends on where you drop. Um, but like you got, I think Jackson Dart is a little underrated. Um, Quinn Ewers he's not bad.
Eh. He's not
Yeah,
bad, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I
he's
don't think
not
he's a
great. He's
he's not a
not
first
great.
round he's not a first
Yeah, he's
round
not a first
quarterback.
rounder. I don't.
I
What
don't
do you
think
think
he's a
about Jalen
second.
Milrow?
Ooh, listen, good, strong arm,
Sleeper.
huh?
He's a sleeper. I don't think he's a first rounder,
No,
but
he's got a strong arm. I think he's probably a fourth round, fifth round pick. I'm gonna be honest. That's if I'm looking at it, I say he's a fourth to fifth round pick. Now, I didn't want to stay on this subject about QBs, so I'm just saying I brought that up just for one reason because you said something about a QB. But anyway,
nah, I get it. I get it.
we'll transition back out of that because, like I said, this is about the Chiefs. So to me, if we're going to be talking about what's happening as far as the draft goes, or even free agency, there are picks that are available for the Chiefs, and I think they can make some things happen. But in order for those things to happen, there's going to have to be some contract renegotiations or some money moved or restructuring anyway. And the big thing would be Patrick Mahomes, if they could restructure his contract, if they could maybe restructure Tooney's contract, and
I think those are no
possibly,
runners.
yeah, and possibly try to maybe restructure Chris Jones's, even though he just got that contract, not too long ago. So
I would even say Kelsey as well if he stays,
yeah, but you want to make sure he's going to stay. You'd have to do it for at least two another year. You'd have to add another year to the contract, right? So
or
I
just do
say,
some finessing.
I mean,
It won't be like it's a lot. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
not, but
Like
I'm saying you would still have to do it. Like you could pay him money up front. You could pay him like a hard lump sum,
exactly.
right?
They can
But
get creative. Is all I'm saying.
they can, and I believe Veach can do it. Now, like I said, these things are going to happen in order for them to attract any kind of free agents or get anybody to want to come there and play because they need the money. They're going to need the money to pay these free agents, right? And there's a lot of free agents that are going to be available. Some that
A
I can
lot.
really,
It's more than I thought. It's actually more than I thought.
and
I
that's
didn't
what I
know
was.
Byron Murphy. I didn't know Byron Murphy was a free agent
Yeah, yeah. There's a
at
lot of them.
corner.
Yeah, yep. There's
So
a lot of them. So I think that the thing you have to remember when it comes down to this season is that Veach is going. This is going to be his hardest season as a GM. I really truly believe that, and I also think that since it is going to be his hardest year, he's going to have to do right by Patrick Mahomes this season because you cannot have him back there without being protected. What we've seen in this past Super Bowl was horrible.
I also blame Reed for that too.
I
Like,
do,
partially.
I do, but
Like
I
I
also
think the majority of it goes on Reed because, like, bro.
it was a bad scheme. It was a bad. It was
Well,
bad.
not only that, what he did with Kingsley was just dumb.
Yeah,
There was no development. You didn't put him through the the uh the growing pains. You
yeah.
really didn't, and you didn't let him learn through it in game. I just
That
don't
you know,
understand that.
it's hard. You know when, and I won't say that Patrick's to blame for that. I will say that Patrick probably had some say in it because he was getting destroyed on that blind side.
But here's
And
the thing that I don't know if you've seen it, but in the Super Bowl, and
yeah,
here's the thing I don't know because in the Super Bowl, Andy Heck they talked about it after the game.
yeah.
Andy Heck was actually not a fan of putting Tooney at left tackle.
Well, no, he
He
wasn't.
told Reed that was a bad idea, and Reed did it anyway. So
Well,
like,
remember what I said about arrogance from my head coach?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like,
This is the problem you're going to run into with
dang,
guys like Andy Reid that have,
old and stuck in his ways at times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know how old people are, man. You know,
Hey, hey, hey. The fuck?
like even if Mahomes wanted that, I don't like Reed is gonna have the in say so.
He is. But
Hey,
it's more so about it's not even about him being older, right? It's more so about the fact that when you get to that point, a lot of
uh,
times,
uh,
especially as he's won now, sometimes these coaches get a little. And I'm not saying Andy Reid is like this with knowingly, but I think unknowingly he gets a little bit cocky and arrogant. He believes, well, my way has gotten us here, so I'm going to stick to that, right? And sometimes that's wrong. Sometimes it's not right. Sometimes you make a mistake and don't do the right thing there. And, I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying that DJ Humphries was available and would have been, and I'm not saying Sumatai should have been playing in that game either because I don't think
he was warming
Sumatai,
up though. He
yeah,
was
but
warming up though. Did you
he
see
was,
it?
yeah, they were warming him up to play guard. I already heard about that. They were warming him up to play guard. He was not coming in
Probably
for left.
so.
Yeah, he was not coming in for tackle. They were warming him up because Caliendo was having issues. So that was the thing. And I'm gonna just say this: no matter what, it is his decision at the end of the day, and he's gonna have to live with the fact that he fucked off a three-peat because he was too fucking bullheaded to do what needed to be done. Number one, run the ball. Number two, maybe, just maybe, you should have left Kingsley in earlier in the season to get his feet wet and go through those growing pains
Hey,
so you
I,
so you can actually have a good left tackle at the end of the season.
I agree. You know what's crazy though, and like me and the homie on Twitter, we was talking about this, and
Yeah.
this might sound a little arrogant or a little cocky, but the Chiefs do have a pattern. And I'm not saying this is going to actually happen.
Here, I already know what you
Listen,
get ready
listen,
to say.
listen, but it's true. It's true. Listen, Dad, it's true. It literally has happened.
Yeah,
Chiefs, they lost when they went to the AFC Championship, Mahomes' first year, right?
true.
Well, the MVP year.
Yeah, that was his
They
first year playing.
lose. Yeah. The next year, they win the championship.
Okay.
Next year, they go back Super Bowl, right? They went back to the Super Bowl the next year, right?
Yep.
With Bucks. They
Yep.
lose that game, right? That was the
Yeah.
chance to repeat. Remember the
True.
whole run it back?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lost that game. And what was it, 2 years to get back to the Super Bowl? Well, because of
Yeah.
the Eagles, right? So they lost they lost in the AFC championship back to
Yep.
back. And what did they do? Go to the Super Bowl and complete what they were supposed to do 2 years prior, which is the three-peat.
What do you mean the three-peat?
No, or the two-peat. That's what I meant,
The
not the
back to
three-peat.
back. Yeah, the
The
back to back.
back-to-back. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I meant. So now, think about it. My homeboy, he was like, "Listen, like I've been he because he called it out. It's actually a tweet he said after the second uh after the what was that the Eagles Super Bowl,
I
right?
already know. I already know where this is going.
Listen, yeah, because he's not wrong. Because listen, he his whole idea is that the Chiefs, it's like a it's like trial and error before you complete the mission. And he
Okay.
has a point because he called it out in the Eagles Super Bowl. You know what he said? He literally said after that Eagles Super Bowl, I have the tweet. I'm gonna have to find it. He said the Chiefs are gonna have the opportunity. This was right after the Super Bowl. He said
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna have the opportunity to three-peat. They're gonna go to the Super Bowl 2 years later, because obviously that was the first of the
Yeah.
potential three-peat.
Yeah.
And he said in they're gonna go to the Super Bowl in the third one. They're gonna lose, right?
Okay.
And then it may take a year, it may take 2 years for them to get back to the point to where they get back into the Super Bowl. Because obviously they're going to have to retool. Now I don't know if that's going to take that long. It may not. Just depends.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to get another chance to go back and three-peat and complete that mission that they have done before. Because it's always trial and error. They had a chance. They lost the first chance to get to the Super Bowl. The next year they went to the Super Bowl and won.
Okay.
Then they had a chance to repeat that game. Then they got another chance to repeat, and they repeated. Then they had a chance to three-peat. They
They
lost
fail.
that chance to
Yeah.
three-peat. They failed. They're going to get another chance to three-peat, and they're actually going to complete that.
Hey,
Now,
if
does
that was
that
to,
actually happen? If that actually, look, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you can't deny the pattern. God damn it,
no,
that's all
you
I'm
you
saying.
you can because it hasn't happened yet. But
You can't
if it
ignore
would,
it. You can't
it
ignore it.
if it happens, it would be the wildest thing, and it still would put them in as one of the greatest dynasties of all time
Oh yeah.
because
Now
they
look, it
would.
is a little far. It is a little far fetched, right?
Of course, it is.
But think about this though. In the AFC alone, still
Hey,
don't think.
just so you know, before you spill that, just so you know, they're saying that the projected salary cap is 277 to 281.5 million.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've
Okay.
seen it. Yes, that's what I was saying earlier.
Okay. So now
Pretty much
say
a
that.
lot.
Now say that
No,
number two.
I was saying like it's far fetched, but like at the same time, in the AFC, think about the AFC alone, right?
Okay.
There's good teams. For whatever reason, see, bro, Allen has lost to Mahomes 4 straight times in the playoffs.
True.
And look, I'm not gonna sit here and say he'll never beat Mahomes because I don't think that. I don't think that's what it is, right? I think he'll get a chance. He's gonna win eventually,
What beat
or at least
Mahomes in a playoff in a meaningful game?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Or at least one of them will. Out of
Who
him and
will?
like
Lamar
one
Jackson.
of them. Because
Lamar
Burrow's
Jackson.
done it. Yeah, Burrow's done it, but like we don't know what the Bengals are going to look like future wise. Like at least with the Ravens and the Bills, they're kind of already set up to like
Yeah,
team wide. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
We don't know
got
what
you.
the Bengals are going to look like. So, um, but I just don't see those dudes in the Chiefs. Even now, I just don't. Mahomes has the AFC's number. It's not even close.
Well,
Yeah, they might not win. Let's say they don't get to the Super Bowl this next year and the next year, right?
okay,
They get in the playoffs. Obviously, they may lose in the AFC Championship or maybe even the round before that. Boom! But they're retooling the whole squad, right? They're
okay.
getting draft picks. They're getting players. Easily see them running it back in 28, 29, and 30. I can see it. I'm
I
telling you.
mean,
I'm just saying.
you can't
I'm,
you can't tell
I'm
what the
just
future
saying.
holds. I mean, nobody knows. What I will say is this: the Chiefs are going to have to build a line that is going to have to stand the test of time for the next 3 to 5 years for that to happen. They're going to have to. And the only way you can do that is you've got to be willing to spend some money or draft somebody that is going to hit. And right now, as much as I love my Chiefs, I know they're not going to spend no money if they don't have to. So
I mean,
that's,
you're probably right.
yeah, they're not going to spend the money if they don't have to, which is probably why I think that makes it easier on them to let fucking Trey Smith walk, right? Because they feel like they have pieces there to pick up that guard position and make it work, right?
But
The
I think,
only
but I,
pos-
but I also think, but I also think it's because Trey is not a very good pass blocker.
He's not,
He's
but he's a
he's
hell of a
not.
run blocker.
He's a
He's
hell
a
of a run blocker. But what's the point in that if you don't run the ball?
And that's why I said I think that they have a piece there with Sumataia or Norzad that they could actually use if they need to at guard position, right? So and Driscoll's still there. So there's a chance that you could use Driscoll, at a guard position. Who knows? Now, like I said, we don't know, but they have other needs besides the offensive line, but the offensive line is the most important. It is absolutely the most important. The other needs I think that they have to go after is a running back. And I'm telling you right
Okay.
now, they have to get a game breaking running back to me. You've said this before yourself. You're the one that brought it up to me, and I agreed with you. They have to do it. And there's a lot of great running backs in this draft.
There's
The
no
pro
excuse to not get a running back in this draft.
No, there's not.
Zero.
Yeah,
Zero. Like even if you was to get Nick Chubb for like a
yeah,
cheap deal on a 1 year deal, you still get a running back. You
yeah.
still get a
The,
running back.
see, to me, the whole thing is about what do you value, right? Do you value a guy that can break the game open by just, his ability to hit the holes or find the holes? Or do you want a guy that, you can scheme him open, right? And with a running back with today's league and the way Andy Reid plays, he looks for guys that he can scheme open, right? He wants to be able to put them in a situation where they have to, you know, run out in a bubble, bubble screen, or they can run out to the flat and catch the ball and, make themselves, pick up 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 fucking yards. I want a guy that if you put him in the backfield and all he does is run the ball, he is a threat to take it home every fucking time.
And there's quite a bit of backs that can do that in this
There's a
draft. I
lot of
think
them in this draft.
there's a lot of them in this draft.
There's a lot of them in this draft.
You could even get like even a dude like Ollie Gordon, who's projected
Yeah,
down year. He's projected to be a fourth and fifth round pick.
yeah. See,
That's
I
a
would,
that's a layup. That's a layup. If he's there, fourth, fifth round,
yeah,
or even a Devin Neal, or even maybe I think Jukins will probably go earlier than that, more than
yeah.
likely. Um, Caleb Johnson, he's another one.
Henderson,
Henderson, you got Sampson from Tennessee, who
yep.
I think isn't bad. I think he's a little small though. I
He
would
is a little
rather,
small.
yeah, he's a little small. I would probably rather have a bigger back. Um, but he's not bad though. Brashard Smith, that dude from SMU,
Yep.
I
See,
wouldn't sleep on him either.
a dream scenario for me would be if they were to go and pick up a like Kelvin Banks from Texas, right, as at the offensive tackle position, and
Man, that
then
would be a dream come true.
yeah, I mean, but I know he's probably going to go within the top 15. I say top 10, top 15. But
I wouldn't rule out that dude from LSU though.
you're right. But I'm saying
I
I
can see
think
him. I
I'm
can see
saying
him
that
falling.
that would be a dream scenario for me. Kelvin Banks uh, at tackle, we somehow get him, and then maybe pick up, I don't know, Henderson or Judkins. I don't care what either one of them. Either one of them to me, I would like to have.
Man, there's like five backs I'd take. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah,
Easy.
it,
Off the
it, it
top.
is, and that right there solidifies the two offensive pieces that worried me the most, right? And I think that you can do that if you were to make trades, but I don't think they're going to make any trades to move up to get Kelvin Banks because, I mean, they would be having to give up a lot. They would have to give up a lot, and I don't see that happening. The Chiefs, they only have 6 picks this year, and they need to draft to be able to pick up the pieces that they need. They need all 6 of these pieces if they got this many guys that are going to be free agents this year. And that's the other thing about the free agency situation is that there's a lot of guys on
There's
the
some
Chiefs.
places. There's some pieces in free agency for sure.
Yeah,
There
and the
definitely
Chiefs
is.
the Chiefs have a lot of guys who are on the free agency list for their own team that they're going to be losing this year, right? So, I mean, guys like Hopkins, Reed, Charles Omenihu, Marquise Brown, DJ Humphries, Joshua Uche, Tershawn Wharton, Carson Wentz, Derek Nandi, Justin Watson, Samaje Perine, Nick Bolton, James Winchester, Mike Pennell, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt, McCole Hardman, Marlon I can't even say his name, Tupualuto, Malik Herring, Jody Fortson, Peyton Hendershot, Jack Cochran, Keith Taylor, Mike Caliendo, Najee Johnson, Trey Smith, Spencer Schrader, Matt Areza, and Baylor Cupp. These are all guys, and I think Baylor Cupp did sign a deal, though, like to stay on, right? But these are all guys that are free agents for the Chiefs. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of them I don't see coming back to the Chiefs this coming season. One of them that concerns me, like I said, because we've talked about the offensive side of the ball and who I want to see the Chiefs pick up in the draft. But Charles Omenihu is one of those free agents that won't be there, possibly. He's possibly not going to be there because he can demand a lot more money than what the Chiefs probably want to pay him for the upcoming season. And I'll be honest, I like Charles Omenihu. I really do. And I don't know, hey, are they going to find somebody who's just as good as Charles Omenihu or better in free agency? Possible. I don't know. It's it. This is the beauty and the ugly part
I'm
about
excited to be
about the
honest with
off
you.
season. I know I'm excited, but
It's
I'm
like
also
that's like one of my favorite parts about the offseason is just
I'm excited,
seeing
but
what the team does.
I'm also worried because you know it, there's we have a lot of people like Tershawn Wharton had a hell of a fucking season this year. That's a homegrown talent, a piece that we picked up from a small school, brought him in as a UDFA, and the guy was able to fucking turn into a monster for us, right? I'm scared to lose that guy because he understands how to play his role with the Chiefs. He knows the system. He knows what he's doing. He's learned up under Chris Jones. This is this is the things that I'm talking about. We're going to have some of these problems. And they say these are good problems to have because when you're winning, these are the type of things that happen, right? You lose players, you lose coaches. Well, look, it's all good, but then it's not all good because there's some pieces that you want to be able to keep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think dudes like I think Turk will be back though. I think him, Mike Dana is obviously still under contract for next year.
yeah, Mike Dana's still there.
Um, Charles is kind of 50-50, not sure yet.
Yeah,
Um, it really just depends on what they do with the restructuring of contracts. And
I
obviously they got a little boost. They got a little boost with the NFL salary going up like 20 something million.
yeah. So
Um,
to me, you're
that'll
right.
help.
It definitely will help. But
So I mean that's a
we
couple players right there.
we have a long way to go when it comes to this. But I will say this: if they can make the things that need to happen, such as the left tackle and the running back situation, if they can figure out something and hit on those, the other ones I'm not so much worried about. I think that those pieces will
They'll
fall into
figure those
place.
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
think
those
they'll
pieces
figure
will
those
fall into
out.
place. But I think they have to hit on the left tackle situation and the running back situation in order for them to have the other pieces fall into place, especially on the defensive side of the ball, right? Justin Reed is another guy I don't think will probably be back with the Chiefs. And I really think that they're going to have to pick up another safety. And
Yeah, you already know who I want.
I already know who I can't even say
You
that
know
dude's
who I
last name.
want.
I can't even say his name. Would you from South Carolina? I
E-
can't,
Eamon Warry. That's how you say his name.
what's his name
Eamon
again?
Warry. Nick Eamon Warry.
Nick Emanwari.
That yes. Hey, that he is a hybrid. He's the definition of a hybrid.
All right,
He can
well,
play. He can play, and he's a good coverage backer. He hits. He's a safety that plays. He has great
they,
coverage skills, but he hits like a linebacker.
yeah, they say they got it. His role is a man zone slot and a nickel safety. Well, that's right up our alley because we want a guy that can come down in the box and thump.
I'm telling you,
So
him with Hicks and that, and then you could even move him around too.
yeah,
Because then you could even interchange him with because Chamari was really a safety. He's a technical. His real role position is safety, right? They
yeah.
kind of playing out of position a little bit. You could
Oh,
interchange him at safety with freaking Nick, and you could do so many things with man. Listen, y'all.
you know, I can see
I
those
really
things
wish we had
happening.
more picks. I ain't gonna lie. I really wish
Yeah,
we had
I
more
do
picks.
too.
I ain't
But
gonna lie.
that's the thing. The thing I like the most about this though is that we have a first, a second, and we have two thirds. That means that we're going to be picking in the top 100
And
for
those two thirds
sure.
are pretty much back to back,
And they're
pretty
back
much.
pretty much back to back. So you're going to be picking in the top 100 of this draft in within four picks. Those four picks will be within the top 100. And to me, I don't mind that, especially since you have a fourth round pick and a seventh round pick, right? So you have a first, second, two thirds, a fourth, and then a seventh round pick. Is that correct? Or
I think
yep,
I
that's
think
it.
so.
That's six picks. So yeah, you have those picks available, and those top 3 to 4 picks, right? Those top four picks for sure will be in the top 100. And
See,
to
this is
me,
why I'm.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this is why I prefer them getting somebody at left tackle in free agency if they get one.
It would
That
be
if
nice.
they
It would be
listen, if
nice.
they listen, I know you said he's got short arms, but I like Alaric Jackson, and I don't think he's gonna be crazy expensive. Listen, he's a good left tackle. Good.
I'm
You
not
pair
saying
him
he's
up
not.
if you put him on that left side with Tooney, you get the right guard situation figured out. You got Creed in the middle. That's a solid lineup. You're gonna have to figure out the right guard.
Yeah, but
I don't think he
that doesn't worry me as much as the fucking left tackle situation.
right, exactly. So you get him, you get the right guard situated.
Yeah,
That's a solid lineup right there. I think it's more than solid, honestly.
yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about getting a tackle in the draft, and you can use that pick to get other needs. Like I still think they need a linebacker.
Oh well, yeah.
They
I
need
mean,
they need another corner. I think they could probably get another corner in free agency as well.
yeah,
Uh,
they got a lot of good corners in this draft.
in this
There's a
draft, yeah, they do.
yeah,
Like dude from KU that you was talking about, I like him too.
yeah. Kobe Bryant, Nick Emenwari is the one that they got him
Think about this.
as a
Think about
defensive
this. This is
back.
like
But
a dream. This is like a dream scenario, right? Think if they get one of these running backs that we like, right? Whether
okay,
it's Henderson or Judkins or Gordon, they get one of them, right?
okay,
They get the damn safety, right? And then they get another corner.
all right,
Not sure who. They get a corner. That's what, 3 picks?
yeah.
You can still get another linebacker. And what else do they really need? Like another receiver.
I mean, if the,
Still got one more pick. You still
and you,
got one more pick.
yeah, and you looking at maybe like guys like Luther Burden the third, because I think he won't go in the first round. I think he probably can go in the second round. But I mean, he might be there. I mean, that's a dream. Luther Burden, the kid out of Missouri.
Or maybe they get a defensive lineman instead. Like
Yeah, yeah.
now you can kind of play with it instead of having to worry about getting that left tackle in the draft. That's already taken care of.
Well,
Now you can focus on all the other areas. That would be my dream to me.
and maybe that might
So
happen. That might happen. We don't know. Uh, it's a lot of hearsay. A lot of people talking about what could and could not happen. I will just say this. I know that I would feel better if we had a free agent left tackle situation resolved before the draft. I
right,
would
and
feel
that's my dream scenario. Yeah,
I would
for
feel better
sure.
about it. Right?
That way you don't have it's done and over with. It's
Yeah.
something that you don't have to worry about anymore. And Larry Jackson is still young. He's still 26 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
What
you can
do you remember what his measurables were as far as height and weight? I was pretty sure he was
he's
a
like
pretty good.
six like let me see cuz I was just looking at it earlier.
I'm pretty sure he was a pretty big.
340. He's a big boy though. He's a big
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, excuse me. I was pretty sure he was a pretty big kid.
7 344.
344.
344. Yeah.
How tall did you say he was?
6'7".
Whew. Yeah, that's a big dude.
Him with Tooney. Listen, him with Tooney. Let's say they put him and Tooney on that side,
You
and then you put Driscoll. You put Driscoll at right guard. Now the Chiefs got a big ass fucking line. They got a big line, offensive line.
Now here's the thing. I think the main reason why they're willing to let Trey Smith go is because they know they have to pay top money for a left tackle.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they was projecting him getting around 14 million a year,
Okay, but
which is nothing.
even
I
at
mean,
that,
I'm just saying for a tackle, that's
yeah, but think about it. You're
I'll
paying
take that all
14
day.
million. You're paying 14 million compared to 20 million for Trey, right? If you get him for 14 million and he's good, and then now you have a right guard situation that you can handle in house between Sumatia, Driscoll, Norzad, or Hanson, right? I'm okay with that. Even Caliendo, right? You have
And
pieces to put in
Morris,
it.
I think Morris could play right guard.
Even that. That's what I'm saying. You got plenty of pieces to put back in that
Yeah, they
position.
got depth. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got depth. I don't.
So the
They'll figure it
the
out, man.
the left tackle situation is probably the hardest situation, the hardest position to play on the field as far as the line goes, right? Now, here's the deal. Like I said, if they can get that figured out before the draft, right? That makes my anxiety come way the fuck down. Because now I don't have to worry about if they're going to pick up an offensive lineman early in the draft. Now I understand. Okay, we definitely need a running back. We definitely need a defensive lineman. We definitely need a linebacker, a corner, and then a safety. The offensive line situation, I don't have to worry about. And a lot of people say, "Well, your line did so bad during that game and against the Eagles. I don't think you did enough." I'm like, I don't think it's that much that we need to do. I
I
just
don't
think
either. I think people are blowing it out of proportion. I do think that.
yes. I think the left tackle situation, if that was done and you had that piece there and it was solidified, I think you're good. I really
I'm gonna
do.
be honest with you. If the Chiefs had a running game, like an actual threat in a run game, that totally different scenario. I don't care what
Absolutely.
nobody says.
Absolutely.
Oh
Uh, just so everybody knows, I want to say thank you to everybody that has come to the channel and has subscribed and hit the notification bell to let them know whenever we have new content that's come out. I also want to say thank you to everybody that shared our content, that has commented on our content that we've created. It really helps us with the algorithm. So we want to say thank you to everybody that has done that. And if you're new and you haven't done that, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It would really help us out a lot. We do this every week. As you can tell, we are Chiefs fans, but we do like to talk about other teams. And if you want to talk about your favorite team, put it in the comments. Ask us a question about what you think will happen during the draft or free agency for your team, and we would be able to come up with something to tell you what our thoughts are and what could possibly happen. So, but like I said, we want to say thank you to everybody that has hit the like button and the subscribe button. And this is this is the one thing about free agency when you're a fan of a team. It's like I said, it's exciting and it's also very nerve wracking at the same time. So we will get into more as the off season progresses. We have other pieces that we need to address. Like I said, cornerback is another one, not quarterback, because we don't need a quarterback. As much as everybody tries to say that Patrick Mahomes is, probably ruined now. Oh my God.
man, he went
Some
in. Hey, I'm calling it right now. He's plus 800 to win MVP. I took that bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I I think Patrick Mahomes had a lot going on, and I think with the death of his grandfather, I think that that he was doing very badly. You know, I think that was weighing heavily on him. So, I'm not saying that's the reason they lost, but I think it probably contributed to him not being, as sharp as we are used to seeing him. Right. Uh, the thing about it is we have a lot of things going on, and I don't think Mahomes is the one thing that we have to worry about. I don't think that's the thing we have to worry about. He's probably the only thing we don't have to worry about, right?
Man, Mahomes is his biggest critic, bro. You don't People don't think Mahomes is sitting here going like killing himself about what happened in that Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm sure he
He
is.
took he took like after that game was over, he literally said it was his fault they lost.
Yeah,
He took full accountability, bro.
yeah,
And that's what we want in our quarterback. And
yeah.
he know what he got to do this next season or just
Well,
going forward in general.
to me, with everything that's going on, like I said, that's the one thing I don't have to worry about. Uh, I will say that there are a lot of things that are exciting to me as far as that goes. But the one thing that I really, really, really want to see this offseason, besides the left tackle situation get alleviated, I really want to see us finally get us a fucking game breaking running back,
It's time. It's
a
been too
1,000 yard
long,
back.
yo.
We haven't had
It's
a 1,000 yard back since
Kareem
Kareem
Hunt
Hunt was there, and that was the year Kareem
rookie.
Hunt got. He was there. It was before the year Patrick Mahomes started. So the year before Patrick Mahomes got a chance to start, that
2017.
was the last time we had a 1,000 yard rushing running back, and it's time. Kansas City, you gotta listen. Y'all gotta make this right. You
It's
gotta get us
time.
one.
I've been saying this for the longest. Like I've been saying, they
Yeah,
gotta get a running back. Everybody has a dynamic running back next to.
yeah. Very true. Are you on
Close
mute?
to it.
Oh, I thought you was on mute.
No, I was about to say because I looked at it, but no, like they gotta fix that run game, and they gotta commit to it.
And I'll be honest with you, as much as I would love to have Kareem back, I don't think it's going to happen. Uh, there are some other pieces that we could use in that backfield. Pacheco, I love Pacheco, but
Do
man,
you think he'll? I think he'll be on the team because he still has 1 year left. I
who
don't see
Pacheco?
them just
Pacheco?
yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah, he'll be there. I don't think they're going to get
I
rid of
think
him.
he'll
Not quite yet.
be there,
Yeah, not
but
quite
I
yet.
honestly think it's gonna be Pacheco. I think Still will be there. The only
Yeah,
way I don't see Still being there is if they get like a Nick Chubb. But even then, he might still be on the rush because they might leave him in that fullback.
to
So,
me, the whole thing with Pacheco is Pacheco's gonna he's never gonna change his style of run, the way he runs. So you're gonna always have the problem with him being possibly injured at some point throughout the year.
and I don't
And
think he was 100% just yet. I
no,
think he was still a little rusty
yeah.
coming back from
So
injury. So,
to me, I think you have to get another running back. And so if you do this and you go out and get an early round running back, there's going to be a lot of running backs to pick from. So I mean, hell, even what's his name, Devin Neal from KU. I mean,
listen. Hey, you know who I
you
want you to
said it
check
today.
out?
Who's that?
The dude from now he won't be like a kind of running back that many people talk about, but like if they were to get one like late round,
Yeah,
that by Shul Tutton from Virginia Tech,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
send you. Hey, he's fast as hell, but he's big too. Like he's got game. He might be the fastest back in this draft.
well,
Um,
that would be nice if
but
you had
he's
somebody
another
like that.
dude. Yeah, he's another dude, but he's kind of more of an under the radar guy. But he's like 6 foot. Um, I want to say 209. Runs a
Mm,
4.31. I actually
nice.
think he's faster than that.
Yes.
But he's fast as hell.
Well,
So he's another like. There's a lot of under the radar backs in this draft too. Like if they were to go that route,
yeah,
So just saying. But yeah, Devin Neal. Like I said, I know people talk about his long speed,
yeah.
but
His
I
vision is
think that is a
his vision
product.
is excellent. His vision is excellent.
Yeah, I think the speed thing is, especially this past year, he got slower. But I think that's because of part of him bulking up as well. He got
Yeah.
bigger this year compared to his previous years.
Well,
Because I looked
here,
at his game tape from freshman year, he looked way faster. But his
yeah,
vision
he
and
was
his
faster.
elusiveness, yeah, he was fast, bro. Like, and he still got breakaway speed. Like, if you get him in open space, and I think that's the thing that helps him even in open space, even though he doesn't have like elite speed, is his vision. He
Yeah,
knows how to wiggle. He's dangerous regardless in open field, period. Even
yeah,
without breakaway, elite speed.
yeah. He's
So,
very dangerous. So, well,
and you
look,
could get him in the fourth round or
if
something
you
like
get
that. He ain't
if you
gonna be.
get if you get that taken care of, and you get the rest of the pieces, like I said, you know, this will be the greatest. I won't even say that. Here's what I will say. I believe that Brett Veach has to hit on every pick this year. I believe he has to. And the main reason I say that is because there's not really a lot of room for to err in this situation.
I mean, I'll give him a pass on the seventh round. That's a seventh rounder. Those don't.
Yeah, I
It's hard
mean,
to hit on a seventh rounder.
it is, but you know what?
If he does, he does. I give him
I won't
credit,
even say
but
that because he's picked up guys in the seventh round and made good out of them.
now I will say Beach is one of those GMs that does do a very good job in late round. I will
Yeah,
give him that.
yeah,
So just continue doing what you've been doing. That's all you really got to do.
yeah. So, Well, look, we're gonna get off of here. We'll talk more. There's gonna be more news coming out, and you guys probably won't see this till Friday or Saturday, right? So we're gonna have more to talk about. Free agency is gonna be coming up real quick, and just remember, if you have something that you want to say about your team, put it in the comments. If you have a question, put it in the comments. And if you're a Chiefs fan and you have something that you'd like to know, or maybe you have an idea of what could possibly happen during this free agency period, or maybe even the draft, or somebody you like, put it in the comments. Okay? But that is all for us tonight. We want to say thank you guys for coming and watching the content. Big Mike will eventually have his face up on the TV screen
I think about it. For y'all got to
again.
see, for y'all get to see greatness again. You know what I'm saying?
So, and hopefully we'll get Dorian and Mike on the channel at the same time again, because Dorian said he was holding it down for you like it's never been held down before.
Ain't nobody
Like,
trying to hear that. I appreciate it though.
so with that being
Good
said,
looking, man.
we're gonna get out of here. I'm Big Temp, that's Big Mike. This is the Cave Cast, and thank you guys. We out.